All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third qualifier of the Hybrid Major Glitches tournament. This is the second one to get a restream that started on Sunday. I'm joined by Pix in the commentary booth. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Mama. How are you doing?
Doing great. I'm always happy to see these get a restream.
Yeah, we have two really good runners, Render and Spleebie, who will show us some very exciting and fun things you can do with a set of boots.
All right, we're just waiting for some runners to ready up. And we'll be off soon. So Hybrid Major Glitches is a kind of a new mode that stemmed out of overworld glitches, runners who wanted to do more speedrun-like stuff because the speedrun allows a little bit more than overworld glitches does, but didn't want to go the full major glitches, which requires a bunch of one-frame clips and fake flutes. One-frame clips and fake flutes, while, kind of fun on their own, they do tend to make the seed slower and not as fun to race. So we made this mode that eliminates that from the logic.
I thought it was just born out of an extreme hatred of Kiki the monkey.
Yeah, we won't be seeing Kiki for most of these races, and you'll see why in a bit.
I believe that all of our racers have readied up, and we are going to be off here shortly.
All right, so Render is off. We got exiting Link's house with a potion right out the gate. That's going to be very good for checking Sick Kid when we go to Kakariko. We also see a very fun themed palette from Render matching his sprite.
That bottle also can double as a flute for all of our runners if you want to quickly get yourself up to the mountain.
And we see another bottle on the island. Render is going towards a clip spot here that will get him to either that bottle if he chooses to, or a different spot that will let him fake flipper to the hobo. Spleebie has chosen to go to the Hosserla instead. It's something that is pretty common in modes where you start with boots. All right, Render wants the bottle, so he's doing a glitch called Funny Auto Walk thing, where you get yourself on a screen transition edge in a particular way that when you hit it, you get kind of auto walked to a fixed distance and ignore all collision on the way.
Okay, there's Moon Pearl and a book. Don't really do much for us, and Moon Pearl's not as exciting in this mode as it is in sort of your open glitchless 7/7s, but it's convenient.
It is Dark World access by itself, so it's something that opens up your world quite a bit. You can skip it, but it's usually very slow to skip it, and with this mode, we kind of restrict the Moon Pearl to certain locations to the point where it's not really worth skipping most of the time. Oh no, Spleebie gets the hobo soft lock. Okay, so he's doing what we call the fast hobo clip. But unfortunately, if you mess it up, you can hit the transition wrong and force yourself to hard reset. Although it's not really a hard lock, it is probably faster to just hard reset than to wait for the transition to resolve.
And Render has found a sword at the Bonk Rocks, which will make going to the mountain more attractive than it would be swordless, having something to defend yourself against the mini Moldorms.
There you go. So that's what it's supposed to look like. You bounce up and then into the bridge. Money and bottles, you might be tempted to go to Kakariko from here. But there are some easy bombs you can get from the mountain if you descend to Graveyard Ledge using a clip. So yeah, Render appears to be headed that way. Going towards the mountain clip spot, this is going to get him to the old man cave. He just does a few movements here. He's going to hop over the screen edge. And he's going to wrap around to the top where Bumper Ledge would be in the light world.
Very, very nice, safe access to Death Mountain versus the, the classic DMA where you have to dodge a bunch of the falling cabbages and the dead rocks.
And then you have to remember to correct your camera and not get a 2-minute transition.
Yeah.
Those are the days. I think I used that for like a week before I learned this method.
Just a heart piece at the lumberjack ledge, so there is absolutely no way we are going to be seeing AGA 1.
No. Even the really fringe requirement where Moon Pearl is on lumberjack, or Moon Pearl is on the pyramid ledge, you can still get around that with glitches. This is a very early ped check from Spleebie. Get your 4-minute hype in chat.
All right,
World's fastest dead ped.
Now we don't have to talk about the pedestal anymore.
Oh, we do have to talk about Hera though. This is hybrid, and we just found a heart piece in the cage. So that means there's a key, right, in the next chest, right?
It has to be, right?
Yeah. How else are you supposed to climb the tower? You know, this is gonna blow up in my face, and there is a key, right?
This is awkward. This is
Oh, nope.
He doesn't have any fire. He could be fire locked out.
Oh no, he found a compass. So you can't climb the tower. You tried the yeah, you can't Hera pot either without the hook shot. I've done that before. Yeah, so Hera pot, you might think, oh, Hera pot must be the way that you're supposed to get up there, right? Well, the thing is that this logic was written before Hera pot was discovered, and Hera pot's not actually in the logic. So you're actually supposed to clip here from Misery Mire and use Mire big keys to unlock the door.
Yeah, Misery Mire has a lot of what we would refer to as spare keys. I think there's 6 keys in Misery Mire.
Yeah, I want to say 3 pot and 3 normal.
Yeah, and I mean you need 1 or 2 of the tops. So wouldn't it be great if you could take those to Tower of Hera or a place like Swamp, which has a very inconvenient small key.
It's a mirror. I want to see if Spleebie does the clip that gets to here. No, it'll just hover. Never mind. He's Spleebie. Boring. Yeah, so that's a mirror in Spectacle Rock Cave. Render wants to continue on the mountain, so he bomb jumps across. Spleebie does not have that luxury. He only has half a heart. Yes, the mountain being green, not the weirdest thing we're going to see today. So we have a pendant pod and green pendant Skull Woods.
And reds at the corners, 5 and 6 at Turtle Rock and Misery Mire.
So Spleebie is following that book pretty hard. He's going to check the tablet. Got a sword on the ether tablet. He can't get that yet. He needs another one. Render has set up what we call a mirror portal offset. So he has kind of screen wrapped himself in such a way that when he places his mirror portal down, the portal gets placed farther down the map than he actually appears to be. And then when he meets that portal, it's actually going to be in Hyrule Castle Courtyard, and he's going to use that to clip into Pyramid Fairy. So Spleebie did hover to the mirror, as I predicted. He tried to hover back, but didn't quite make it. So it looks like something went wrong with his, he probably soft-locked on the way down the mountain and had to reset up his portal. Spleebie is taking a King's Tomb route, I think. King's Tomb is one of those things that's kind of hard to route in, so he's getting this out of the way now.
Yeah, coming down the mountain at that point, you can kind of choose if you want to go Graveyard Ledge or King's Tomb. It's unfortunate having to choose one way or the other and getting nothing on your first choice.
Mm-hmm. And when you have 10 bombs in your inventory, Graveyard Ledge is a little bit less appealing than it normally would be. A lot of us use Graveyard Ledge as our first bomb source. But Old Man gave us 10 bombs, so we didn't need to do that. So you can see the portal he left. It's on the left side of this courtyard. But he's gonna take a uncle visit first because I think he wants to do some. I was gonna say do Dark World, but he didn't get the Moon Pearl in Saha's closet.
Yeah, having the mirror would make doing in front of escape and getting back pretty quick as well.
You might see him throw a bottle into the fountain when he's in Pyramid Fairy just to see if it gives him a blue potion that he can use to get to some more Dark World locations using a fake flute, which is a glitch you can do with the blue potion that moves you into the flute menu even when you're in the Dark World. Alright, Spleebie's on a precarious health situation here, but he'll get hearts down here and probably be okay through the Paradox Cave.
Yeah, a nice 7-item location.
He's dangerously close to that bomb. He knows exactly what he's doing, though. I have died to my own bombs far too many times.
Yeah, having the Moon Pearl too, Spleebie would have a couple options if he wanted to use the Dark World portal and then descend down towards either Village of Outcasts or North Dark World.
He also does have that mirror, so if he were to go into Dark Death Mountain and do like a hover of Hookshot Cave, he could mirror back to Spec Rock if he needed to. Or Paradox Cave. 8 bombs for your stun prize, not bad. Yeah, he can't. He actually cannot bomb jump here. He doesn't have enough health, so he has to hover. I do wonder where he's going from here. What's his plan? Go up and around, and maybe do. Oh, he's gonna try to descend into the waterfall. Very interesting. He caught himself dead rocked. You can clip out of any of these diagonal slopes and be okay. But I think he wants to do a spin speed clip. When you're in spin speed state, even if you're not going fast, you interact with collision differently. Now he's not choosing waterfall. He's instead just going to check the ledge.
Yeah, interesting because he doesn't have enough money for Zora.
Oh, but that's a hammer.
Okay.
He's thinking about, can I get there with what I have? And he doesn't have enough things to fill slots to do a splash delete, but he can get there with a water walk. And with the water walk, he can actually clip up that ledge, even if he doesn't store it. Alright, so Render is going to use this portal he put very carefully. It's going to get him into Pyramid Fairy. Without the red crystals, and without the Moon Pearl. He doesn't need the Moon Pearl to do this. From his perspective, the Moon Pearl can be here.
And I believe that's a pretty forgiving placement. I think you have double-digit pixels that'll work. Isn't that correct?
You have a lot of pixels, and you have an easy lineup for the Y-coordinate as well. You kind of just mash yourself against one of the railings on Death Mountain and then walk to the left a little bit. And there's another bottle in the dam. Spleebie says no to all the extra bottles in the seed. He knows where the Moon Pearl is already. He has it, so he doesn't need to think about, using the bottle to get around the Dark World faster. Because there are some locations that the mirror opens up for Moon Pearl. But the game will never expect you to actually use those fake flutes. There's the flippers. So even that hammer on ledge, he doesn't even need to store a water walk for it. He can just swim there. The flippers will actually slow him down because you kind of want a water walk for that. You don't want to swim. Swimming is slow. So Render is doing King's Tomb as well. So buffer up a little bit, and when you land on that rock, and you're also on the bush, and the game doesn't know which one you're on, and you pick up the rock, and the game thinks you're picking up the bush, it doesn't check for mits.
And neither choice is really worth it today.
Yeah, so the question does become, how long do you put off Sahasrah's closet? It's kind of a If you don't open with it, it's kind of awkward to route in if you don't get other items like the mushroom or the bow.
Yeah.
He does have the option of going to pod through an underworld clip and then mirroring to Eastern and doing Kiki or doing Sahasrah's Closet from there. So if you're on Professor Renderer's side, you want him to find something like the bow that will lead him in that direction.
Yeah, there is that hammer there. Unfortunately, he would not be able to get it yet. Looks like
Oh, he has 496 rupees.
yeah, trying to scrounge up 5 more rupees.
Oh no, he just was so sure he'd find some on the way, and I can't blame him for that. There they are. Oh, and the heart that refilled him would have put him back in the water if he was water walking. Classic. Render is in a similar money situation.
Yeah, he is. Has he been to Paradox? I don't remember what the money situation was in Paradox. I have to imagine there's at least something in there.
Yeah, he also has, there's still that Houlihan room, and a lot of people will route that in from a graveyard ledge check because when you descend the mountain, your camera is broken and you can drop into a hole and get into Houlihan room. Just a heart on Zora, though, and if he sees that hammer, that might be good enough for him. And that might poke him towards Pod if he also finds a bow, and that'll also, by extension, get him closer to that Moon Pearl. That will speed up his game significantly.
I mean, Pod is a pendant too with a bottle. To do Pod camera unlock, you would be able to get 13 of the 14 checks.
Oh, that's true. So the bow doesn't really come into play outside of that it might be in logic to have the Moon Pearl in it. Same goes for the lamp. It's one of those things you don't really need, but if you have it, you're thinking, well, maybe it wants me to go there. Okay. Mini Moldorm's hurt. On 4 hearts.
Alright. Spleebie is going to... Looks like he's running down the mountain towards Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, he's doing what we call Death Mountain Descent. It's a lot of ways to get off the mountain. This is kind of the standard way to get off in the Dark World. He's checking out he doesn't have the gloves by tapping those rocks. And it's faster than opening your menu. As somebody who doesn't play with a tracker, it can be helpful to do little things like that. He also might been trying to farm for bombs, but I don't think he needs them.
No, I think he's doing his map check. He has a wholly clearable Crystal Thieves Town.
Yeah, and this is about the health you'd have in the corresponding speedrun as well.
And the sword you'd have.
Yeah, the same sword, same health.
Yeah, and that appears to be exactly what he's going for, or at least setting up.
Poor for chess game. No, dude. The seed is just
let him gamble.
He hasn't done Kakariko Village yet.
No,
surely there's money here.
Well, he's gonna come out of the well with at least 20, so.
Gotta love to see that route though, where you're checking a Village of Outcasts check before Kakariko checks.
Renderer is now aware of the hammer. Does not realize just how close he is to it yet, but looks like he's headed to set up that water walk, which will be interrupted with some flippers.
Interesting, both of them did the same Zora from the mountain check. Which is something you don't necessarily have to do, like, because you can just blind check it from the south.
Speaking of blind checking, we're into our third or fourth 5-item location, Blind's Hut. Doesn't look like we picked up anything in of note in CAC or VOO so far.
Yeah, this has been a very underwhelming village from both worlds. Maybe Thieves Town will have something good for us. Just bombs all around, in both meanings of the word.
Okay. I mean, blue mail is nice to have. It's not super exciting. But, you know, Spleebie's not putting it back.
And now he has 57 rupees and can now afford chess game, but still can't afford dig game. Alright, that was actually kind of a clutch 50 rupees he pulled from that first chest, which wasn't even the item. Because now he's 3 rupees away from affording dig game.
Yeah, and now we're gonna pick up 4 more items here in Thieves. Decent chance that we can come out of here with 80 in our pocket.
Ether in Thieves Town. We don't know what a Meyer Medallion is, but it does have some pretty good logical significance. Given that there are clips that get you from Meyer to Hera and Hera to Swamp, and you have that extra key in Meyer that the logic expects you to spend in Swamp, the Meyer Medallion can actually unlock, by logic, quite a bit more than it does in normal modes. Which means that if you're looking for a Meyer Medallion for Go mode, it's probably not going to be in Swamp. Because Swamp, what happens with Swamp is that because it expects you to clip from Meyer, the small key gets shuffled into the dungeon. And it can still be in the first chest, but it doesn't have to be.
Also, because of where you will enter Swamp Palace from Hera, your hammer could also wind up deeper in Swamp than you may be used to seeing.
And your mirror as well, which is funny because we have all of those things. The one thing that you kind of actually expected to have is the flippers, because you are expected to accidentally like flood the trench and not be able to swim. So the game always expects you to have flippers for any chest in Swamp Palace. For this purpose, it also expects the Moon Pearl because you logically need it to get into Meyer.
I believe we've seen 2 of our 4 items in Thieves. That Ether Medallion and the flute, which you know, doesn't really do a lot for us.
And then Heart Piece and Attic. Yeah, well, the flute is, we're never going to be closer to activating it than we are right now. So we might actually see an active flute in this seed.
Render now picking up the hammer. Going to be interested to see where he chooses to take it.
He might be running out of options. I think Pod and Saha and Eastern are kind of it for him. He might still have Graveyard Ledge, if I'm not mistaken. And then he has some kind of mirror Dark World checks that nobody actually wants to do. So, yeah, we'll see.
Spleebie having to take the long way around because of no glove.
Oh yeah, Render hasn't done CAC either. What the heck? Right. Nobody does CAC early in this mode. He's going to be disappointed, though. There's really nothing here. Which is good for him. He does need to get to that Moon Pearl eventually if he wants to get kind of nudged towards his progression.
Yeah, Render has done Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb with the boots in glitch mode. You do have the entire front of Desert Palace in your Sphere 1, so you can continue out of CAC down into the desert area.
Yeah, the desert area is open to him as well. It's a few things. Spleebie will get to pair it with Meyer Shed because he has the mirror and is in the Dark World already. Spleebie's routing is really working out for him, having found that Moon Pearl in kind of what I would consider an out-of-the-way location.
That's just definitely different routing philosophies. I know. I learned a lot of my glitch logic routing from Krellbell, who is a Saha closet opener, so I'm also a Saha closet opener.
It's the same as Uncle, Dirty Uncle Router. He's just your other uncle.
He's your cowboy uncle.
He is your cowboy uncle.
There we go. Please rise for the national anthem on Spleebie's side.
Ah, yes, the egret has egressed. Can we bring back bird rhymes? I miss those. They were super popular in 2018.
So Spleebie did not find any money in the Thieves Town dungeon, but he was able to get 20 out of the brewery, so he will be able to go down to the dig game, as well as checking the library, race game, and likely continuing into that Desert Mire area.
Yeah, it means that those 50 rupees he picked up in the chess game were actually important. And there's 50 rupees here. So if you're too poor for dig game, you just mirror and pick those up.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know you could do that from the bottom, like Renderer did. I always do it from the third bump from the bottom.
There's a few. Oh, there's a bow. That's really good for a renderer, because now he can go to Eastern and Pod, and it'll lead him to his next step. And there might be something good in Pendant Pod that Spleebie won't get, because renderer is running out of locations, and the next logical step for him is to go to Pod.
Yeah, the boots make the clipping manageable. In OWG and HMG, you'll always start with boots.
Yeah, only a couple people actually play without boots in glitch modes. Their names are Michael K and Michael K. And even in like the hard major glitches setting where we expect bunny clips and stuff, we still give you boots because we don't hate ourselves.
And it's really impressive seeing how quickly some of these runners can get into a wall and set up a clean diagonal.
Yeah, I didn't really talk much about the mechanics outside of the first qualifier, but diagonal walls are porous. They're full of holes, and you can kind of just walk right through them into certain pixels that will kick you out too far and teleport you, or sometimes you'll just go right through the wall entirely. It's very convenient.
Spleebie showing us, unfortunately, Ether is not our ticket into Mire today. We are going to be looking for the Bombos medallion.
Ah, yes.
Picking up his bow and doing the nice desert loop. I love desert routing in glitch modes. It feels so fast to do the ledge, run through, get your checkerboard, your K45, your Gina.
It feels great until it makes you backtrack for the big chest. So here's another tablet Spleebie's going to get to check that Render will not. And Spleebie also, Render picked up a sword somewhere, and Spleebie, if he finds that, will also get access to the other sword. Yeah, it's here.
There it is.
And there's an ice rod in Cave 45, which is part of Desert, as you know.
Yeah, so as you can see, a lot of these walls that these runners are clipping into are kind of sloped. And so by being able to get yourself a certain distance in, you're able to do what we call teleporting, either up or down, depending on how far into the wall you've moved yourself, which is how these runners are able to jump the ways that they're jumping.
Oh yeah, when we say diagonal wall, we just mean the wall isn't going straight up or down or left or right, because those are pretty solid. Can't do much about those, but the ones that are sloped, we can. They're not built very well. Alright, Renderer is going through the light world. He's going to get his moon pearl earlier than I thought, because he's not going through pod. He says no dependent pod, especially without fire source. I can see why that wouldn't be appealing.
Yeah, while it is still a glitch mode, dark rooms are scary.
Mm-hmm.
So we will not be logically expected to do those without some sort of nightlight.
He's continuing. Oh, Crystal Eastern, of course. Yeah, he's saying, don't even put myself in a position to be tempted to go into pod. I'm just going to go to Eastern because it's a crystal I can do. So Render doesn't really lose much time over that because, like, he doesn't double dip the Eastern area. I'm also not really convinced that Kakariko and Village of Outcasts together is really that much faster than doing them separately.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a fire rod on Bombo's tablet?
Wow.
They're right next to the ice rod in Cave 45. He's gonna get back-to-back rods. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
And I believe that is everything that that Spleebie would need to access and complete Ice Palace.
Well, you can get to the room before Cold Stare, and then there's a big old rock in your
we're
way.
missing the glove. I'm so not used to being able to get to Ice Palace without the glove.
Yes, that's correct. It's something we've all done. I think my biggest one is Spike Cave. I'm always going into Spike Cave without a glove.
Yes, there are interior glitches. Those are not part of this. Things like your exploration glitch or your door jukes. That not exploration glitch, but door jukes and hook pushing. Those are things you would see more in no logic racing.
Those are banned in this mode. So
Yes.
so we're doing like just out of bounds clips in the underworld that are kind of similar to what you're seeing in the overworld. And most of the time we're going to be using bombs to clip ourselves through walls. And there's only really 4 places where we do that here. There's a couple more that are optional, but there's 4 that are logically significant. We'll almost certainly see one that'll get us to Swamp. And another wrong medallion, Quake, which we don't care about. Oh, this book is really paying off for Spleebie. I'm worried about Render's access to Fire Rod in this seed because Bomba's tablet is a little bit orphaned.
Yeah, he will have to return to the Mire area at some point this seed. So he would have an opportunity to get it. Depending on what's in the back of Pendant Skull Woods, he may not need it for a little bit.
Yeah, it depends on the other fire source. Because being without a fire source at all can be really hindering. Especially if you think about like Mire. You don't want to go to Mire without a fire source. And Mire is his ticket back to Bomba's tablet. So if he doesn't find the lamp, he might just never go there. Yeah, Fire Rod was on Bombo's tablet, and Ice Rod was in Cave 45, right next to it. And then there's a sword on Ether tablet, so the book was very good to have.
Yeah,
This book-
Spleebie does not have a glove to access Hookshot Cave the traditional way. So doing a clip to get into the back of Floating Island.
And we'll be seeing some hovers, I imagine, because that's what he does.
Most
people wouldn't even... You wouldn't even be up here if you couldn't hover. Most of the time, you would just wait until you have the hook shot or until you get desperate enough. Or at least until you have the cane so you can go into TR afterward. Nice little reward for people who come here without the hook shot and can't hover. You get the single arrow and then you leave. Spleebie missed the last hover, but he can do it from below. Oof. Yeah, it's the downside. Like, it helps with your routing because you can just do all this together, but it is, no matter how good you are at hovering, it is still slower than using the hook shot, and even slower than never doing it at all. Oh, he's gonna leave behind one chest. Okay.
Yeah, at a certain point, you got to cut your losses. Looks like he's going to be entering TR and checking Mimic Cave.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's that or Catfish, right? So he's orphaning Catfish by doing this. But, you know, in his mind, this is more checks and he's been given the hammer and mirror, and the mirror doesn't do that much logically in this mode, so I can see why he might be trying to follow it. Just 20 rupees though, and Render gets his sword. That's very good. Hopefully he will think about that other tablet.
Yeah, convenient that he didn't have the other forms of Dark World access, so it would have pushed him back towards the mountain.
Yeah, it's true. And you know, he did save a little time not going to the tablet twice.
So in this mode, you can access TR through 3 of the 4 doors. The game, you do not need a medallion to get in. You can access either of the 2 lower bridge doors. Entering from Laser Bridge, I believe, is still out of logic in this mode. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that is correct. And then, so the logic will kind of follow a more looser form in the front, but in the back it's still pretty much the same. There can only be one small key on Laser Bridge. There can't be any big keys back there. Meanwhile, Renderer has done what we call a super jump, which is another kind of screen wrap glitch that you do, similar to the Pyramid Fairy setup. But instead of plopping a portal down, you plop yourself down 8 times. You jump a bunch, and it, for some reason, jumps you all the way to the bottom of the screen. It gets you down here without the glove pretty quickly compared to walking the long way around. So he's going to blind check the front of Swamp Palace. If this is a small key, he saves a ton of time not having to do clips.
He does, at the unfortunate expense of disappointing all of these viewers in chat who want to see Meyer Swamp shenanigans.
He also doesn't have the hook shot, so it still feels bad, even if you do find the key here. It's a heart, though.
All right.
That's the thing with Meyer, though, is like that could have been the Meyer medallion. Because, you know, that chest isn't Meyer locked, only the other ones are. Because you have the hammer, or you have the mirror and flippers, you can just walk right in and get that chest. So it can be a gamble that pays off.
Interesting. Spleebie choosing to use the mirror to jump down to the bottom of Dark Death Mountain to get back to the top.
Yeah, that's a thing I used to do a lot more. And kind of fell out of favor, but this is how you not orphan catfish. Because if you don't do this now,
Yeah.
you're probably never coming back. I think, he's probably feeling this is a qualifier. You don't have to be first place. You just have to do well. So being thorough can pay off a little bit more than it might in a 1v1.
Another one of those auto walks. What are you doing? That's your fire shield.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, I'll never be Team Red. He knows what I mean. Well, he can still get another one. Maybe he just doesn't want Mirror Shield. He wants to get a different fire shield somewhere else and then get the red mail and be Team Red. Render is very enticingly close to his fire rod right now. Let's hope he goes to the tablet. It's really easy to forget the tablet when you're around here.
So yeah, as you saw on both Spleebie and Renderer's screen, when you do some of these glitches to wind up in places the game didn't quite expect you to be, the screen gets a little weird. But Renderers is going to be corrected back to the the palette shifted normal mire.
Yeah, clipping into GT is not only allowed, but expected. All you need is the Moon Pearl and then whatever it takes to clear the inside. And the game does not junk fill GT because it knows that you can get in there early. Kind of treats it like a zero crystal GT that requires Moon Pearl to get to. As we see, Spleebie did a kind of a different method to get to Pyramid Fairy Portal. This is more of a speedrun type of method where it's the fastest way to get there. But he does have to walk in here to fix his camera if he wants to continue in the overworld. So he's doing the escape first.
And there's the fire rod for Renderer. Yeah, entering GT is I think one of the hardest routing decisions to make in this mode. I think a rule of thumb that some people try to go by is having access to Ice Armos. Then there's usually enough checks for it to be worth it.
Yeah, not just access, but like they can get there, but it's out of logic. So that adds another complicated wrinkle to it. Like they can bomb jump to Ice Armos from the hammer side, but it's gonna slow them down a little bit, and they do need the hookshot for Swamp.
And I mean, at this point, we are Bombos, hookshot, a glove, and a cane from Go Mode.
Yeah, I think what you do if you're going to GT without logical access to most of it, you're hoping to find a glove to make Ice Palace better. Because going in there to look for cane and hookshot is not very fun, but if there's some progressive item that can get you an advantage, then that might be worth it. The Renderer is clipping up to Village of Outcast. 2 up teleports gets him here. And now he can get into Thieves Town, find his flute here, and not much else. But this time he'll be here with the Fire Rod, so he has the option to go into Pendant Skull Woods as well. Yeah, the bomb jumps in the underworld are not in logic. It's really just those clips through the diagonal walls. Everything else is kind of the same in the underworld. With the exception of dying as a bunny and reviving. The game can't expect you to do that.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so we did get no key to continue through to the back of escape, so we are going to be glove locked out of the back of escape today.
While we see our runners trace each other's steps, why don't you give them a follow? And also give a follow to my co-com picks and our tracker Kippy, putting on this restream for us.
Yeah, also follow Malmo if you want to watch a really good glitch logic and no logic player.
Yeah, when I'm not too busy doing comms, I do have to do these qualifiers eventually. But for now, we're watching Render and Spleebie play through the seed. As Spleebie goes for that bug net, he really wants it. Maybe we'll see.
Is he gonna try to flex Ice
Oh,
Palace net entry?
He has the flippers and the mirror. I can't imagine it. And also, I saw him practicing the YBA right before the stream. I don't know if he would do the bug net right after practicing the actual correct way to get there without those items.
I agree, but the desire to restream flex is definitely definitely a real thing.
It really is. And too bad, speaking of restream flexes, we don't get to see the hookshot escape from this section. Because he doesn't have the hookshot, but he does get to do hammer pegs. This isn't logic to swim here from the pyramid. Oh, there's a glove behind what would normally be glove locked. So swimming 2 hammer pegs is required unless you can find a glove somewhere else. You really only need one of them to beat the game. So, you know, Render can still get lucky, or you can just go here too. It's perfectly valid and in logic. The problem with that is he's already been to the Pyramid Ferry, so you'd have to come here from somewhere else, like a GT climb.
Yeah, that is that glove is going to be potentially be a problem for some people. Render's continuing to make his way through Thieves Town. Has picked up that ether medallion and the flute.
Spleebie's gonna clean up desert and checkerboard cave now that he has a glove. Desert was available to him before. I think he's probably not going to do it because it's dependent, but he has the option. I don't know if there's an item on Landmo, but he does know that pedestal is dead, so very unlikely that we'll see Landmo from either runner today.
Yeah, Back of Escape is now available. I don't remember if we saw the map, but we know that one of the 3 checks back there is the key. So it's either 1 or 2 items.
The Ranger is picking up some fairies in Thieves Town. This is really the place to get them. Lots of anti-fairies you can powder. I think Spleebie is picking up that. So I see what he's doing. He's correcting his camera before he comes down to Graveyard Ledge so that he can also drop into Back of Escape and not get into Houlihan Room. So transitioning north after descending will fix his camera just enough that he can do these checks together. Render also successfully remembers he doesn't have a glove for the Thieves Town in both directions.
Yeah.
One direction is hard enough. Remembering both directions is impossible. Yeah, there's that map. This is kind of a low value check, but it is a check, so.
And Render is actually one blind shot away from taking a 2-1 crystal lead on Restream.
Oh yeah, and they're tied up on actual progression items. It's really just that glove that is giving Spleebie a slight edge in terms of required items for Go mode. And all it takes is 1 glove somewhere else that Render can reach to even this up again.
Render also has the knowledge that Swamp is Mire locked.
Good knowledge to have when you're in potentially Mire Medallion Go. Although we're quite a bit from that, it is something you'll want to know. You want to know that your Mire Medallion's not going to be in there. So Spleebie's gonna take a fairy death. He just checked his bottles.
Okay.
He wants to have enough magic to escape and go to GT.
I thought he had a quick swap accident. I believe that the mitts, to answer chat, are still logically required for the smiths.
They are. It's like the only thing that the mitts actually lock in this mode. outside of some Moonbro locations
And I
and Ice Palace without flippers.
I believe you can even still get to the smiths without the mitts, but it's super hard.
Yeah, there's a method you can use the potion glitch, YBA, to get, and it's not hard, but it's slow, and it's the smith.
Like the mirror jumps.
The mirror jump is hard. That one sucks. The problem with those is like, no matter what, even if it was in logic, you're still doing the smith, and you don't want to do the smith. It's the kind of thing you'd probably only do in a spoiler log race. There's a sword in Ganon's tower, but we don't really care anymore because we're already untempered. Noting, Render is in Skull Woods. Gonna do his pet check on the way in, but this is green pendant. It could pay off for him.
Unfortunately, we found out 45 minutes ago that the pedestal is
Yeah.
dead.
No, we've known for a while, but Render has not, and I can see why he'd want to check it before doing a pendant, especially if he's starting to think about maybe going to pod. If he finds a hook shot, he'll be in good position because he can climb GT with that, potentially, if he gets the key, and then he can get to Hammer Pigs from there. But that's probably the only way he gets that Hammer Pigs glove without just last locationing it. It's very difficult to route in when you don't have a excuse to go to the pyramid.
Spleebie is going to be doing one of my favorite bits of overworld glitch tech, Ice Palace without the mitts. This is my preferred method, mirror wrapping. What about you, Mama? Do you have a preferred? Are you a mirror wrapper? Flipper wrapper?
Mirror wrapper. Nobody likes flippers wrap. To be quite honest, it sucks. Everybody wants it out of the logic.
I love hard locking my game.
Yeah. Everybody talks about mirror wrap. You can hard lock if you hit that transition, but nobody hard locks a mirror wrap. Everybody hard locks on flippers wrapped.
Oh,
it's our first underworld glitch.
Yeah, he has the fire rod.
Yeah, but this is.
You remember?
No, I mean it's faster.
Yeah,
but...
it's still like a few seconds faster.
I would mirror out of here if I was going to do that. But I think he wants to steal the key, just for slightly better routing. He doesn't have the cane, so the clip doesn't save that much time, as much as it would if you had the cane for Icebreaker. At that rate, probably going forward would be faster, but he does get this extra key when he does this.
Yeah, this makes it kind of awkward to route that like first Pengator room.
Yeah, I would almost be tempted to grab Pengator room, mirror out, and then clip back in to Icebreaker or to IPBJ drop down. That's going to be one of those things I have to time because I don't know which is faster.
Gets a burrito for his trouble.
Yeah, the reason you do this first and don't just do ice and then come back for it is if it's the big key, you kind of force yourself to orphan the big chest because you're not going to come back in for that. Well, I don't think we found anything of note in Skull Woods other than the green pendant.
Alright, here's some, oh, he's hovering it.
Oh, that was good. It's a good hover.
Yeah, it was a really good hover, but
I don't know how he...
doing IPBJ.
I don't know how he transitioned so smoothly into hovering. Like, don't you have to turn your controller 90 degrees and all that? Like, he just walks up to it and immediately starts hovering. It's insane. Big play for Render. He just found Bombos in Skull Woods.
Wow.
Very required item in this seed. You cannot skip the Meyer Medallion in this rule set.
No, that is access to 2 crystal dungeons.
I mean, the logic says it's access to 3 crystal dungeons. So yeah. And if the hookshot is in Tower of Hera, then it is actually access to 3 crystal dungeons. And there's a silver arrows too. Oh, so if you do front to back, you get even better routing, but then you might be tempted to get green pendant. So this is interesting because we got kind of a battle of somebody who has an out-of-the-way glove and somebody who has an out-of-the-way Meyer medallion. It's kind of hard to know which one is worse because Meyer medallion locks a lot in this seed. But the glove, there's another one somewhere. So it depends on where the other glove is.
Yeah, you know, Spleebie could try to lay the Ether Medallion and Quake Medallion on top of each other. It would kind of look like a Bombos if you didn't have your glasses on, but I don't think it's going to open the door to Misery Mire.
No. Yeah, you can do, I think if you mix the 2 medallions, you get a toxic gas, and you shouldn't do that. Hey, I think, you know, there's another glove. If the glove isn't glove locked, Render is in really good position right now.
Yeah.
There's also the chance that Spleebie just goes to Skullwoods next, you know, but it depends on what he finds, because he doesn't have a lot left that's good. He has Eastern, which, you know, will just full clear Eastern. He might go to Pod also, which is...
Yeah,
you know, there's still a couple items left that we need. Like, it might be the cane there. Maybe we need that too. Render is refilling. I think he intends to do, I was going to say Spy Cave, but, you know, I make the mistake every single time. It's, he's not available to him. Oh, Render, please don't go to Spy Cave. Spleebie gonna have to drink his potion to do cold stare. Yeah.
I believe Gold Sword and Fire Rod both do the same damage on Cold Stare anyway, so...
They do. But he didn't have enough to break the shell, so
yeah.
He needed to drink it anyway. Might as well spam the Fire Rod afterward. He also has a green potion. Assuming he didn't... Oh, I think he dumped it, actually. Because he only has 1 bottle, so you can't have both. Yeah. He must have picked up that blue in the potion shop or something, because I totally missed him having a blue.
I do believe that he fluted over there and stopped by. I think I thought at the time he was going to do the teleport down into the eastern area from potion.
I see. Shop. Render was about to clip on the wrong bump, and it was making me nervous. He might be a little low here. I'm concerned. Okay, he's good. Alright, as predicted, Spleebie is doing the crystal dungeon he can do, and then he's going to have to make some hard choices afterward.
Oh, chat pointing out that he filled up at the witch and then grabbed a blue.
Yeah, I just wanted, maybe that transportation option, you know, the fake flute can save a little time. Also is a little safer, you know, to refill your health also.
Yeah, and we've already been to Zora. We're not gonna pay the monkey, so you know, we're flush with cash.
Yeah, remember when we were too poor for a chess game and dig game?
Look at us now.
Shout outs to that. Shout outs to Spleebie, like killing Zora, is trying to farm for Zora, and then now he has enough money to drink a potion and buy another one, just because he wanted an upgrade.
I believe the runners haven't done Hera yet because
They can't.
Yeah, they can't. There's no big key available downstairs, and no hookshot to Herapot.
So yeah, there's this hybrid major glitches expects you to go through Mire to do this if the big key gets locked upstairs. And those, keys, the big key of Hera and the small key of Swamp, they get placed without any logic. They just get randomly placed in the dungeon, and then the seed decides if you actually need to go through Mire to get to those or not. So, you can get into a situation where Moldorm drops the big key, and then you have to drop down and open the big chest, and then get the crystal from Moldorm. It's kind of awkward. Yeah, there's 4 clips: Mire to Hera, Hera to Swamp. Those are the ones that kind of the between dungeons clips, and then there's one that gets you into Pod from Spectacle Rock Cave. We call that Kiki Skip. And there is one that gets you through the first room of Ice Palace that skips the Freezors. So if you don't have fire, you can still be expected to dive Ice Palace and look for it inside.
Yes, you could have both your fire rod and your bombos locked by stuff inside Ice Palace.
Yeah, I have yet to see both fire locked there, but I have seen Moon Pearl locked there, where your fire sources are in the Dark World. So it can happen. Those are fun seeds because you can kind of fake flute everywhere and just hope that you find a fire source before you actually forced into ice. But every minute you're playing without the Moon Pearl, you're losing time. Yeah, that's the other thing is the small key of Hera. You're not supposed to spend it in Swamp, but it's often a lot faster to go to Swamp directly from Hera than it is to go from Mire. So the small key of Hera is actually a really valuable item, and God help you if there's something in the basement, because nobody's going to want to go there.
Yeah, it's very nice if you can deduce that there is a map or a compass in the basement. A nice quick Armos fight. And Spleebie will be taking a 3-2 crystal lead, but runners are even on overall dungeon prizes.
Okay, Render is going to Pod. This is the clip that gets you from Spectacle Rock Cave to Pod. It's another diagonal wall you can exploit.
I believe he's been practicing the insta-clip.
Yeah, that's what he's setting up for you, for sure. This is the pixel for it. Although he's a little bit far to the right.
I go for a very safe bonk setup here.
Yeah, he's using a method. He told me he learned this from me. You walk until he turns, and then...
Oh, we're going to have simultaneous
Kiki
skips.
Look at this. Wow. Render does not know the pixel, though. That's unfortunate. He's consistently setting up on the wrong one. So you should hopefully have a backup for this. Spleebie's having a little trouble, too. He's trying to go for a speed strat where he kind of just walks diagonally up from the corner. And he gets it second or third try. Definitely.
Welcome to Darkness.
Yeah, welcome to Pod. This is your background. Now you know what this means. So we're in a cave. When you're in a cave, you have a lot of keys because the game uses a lot of keys to denote not displaying keys. And you can spend a lot of keys by opening doors. So we open that one door because it makes the routing of Pod a lot better. You don't have to worry about it being bow locked anymore. You don't have to go around to get a key. If there's 2 keys locked in the bow lock side, you can skip them. It's very good to have. So you'll see Render is spending his 255th cave key in this door, and now he has 254.
Ooh, there's Arcane.
And what did I say? Kane and Pod. And Spleebie says, no, that's good enough for me. I'm going to leave.
Yeah, to answer chat, if you open a big key, if you get the big key out of that chest, you can hard lock yourself out of being able to complete pod because you will be in what's known as cave state.
Yeah, the key just gets basically deleted. You don't have that available to you anymore. So that's why I didn't open that first time they went through here, even though it's tempting to. It's extremely dangerous. You would have to hard reset your game if you found the big key there. It's much more likely you just find a small key there and wrap your keys to 0, and then you don't get to spend that free key in the door because you have 0 keys. So that's not really good either.
Yeah, so Spleebie has seen enough and is going to take that King of Samaria and enter the back door of TR with a mirror wrap. Renderer is going to be a little more thorough and look for a couple more items.
I think that Renderer is the one who's thorough here because he has not only access to TR, but he can also do Mire. But Spleebie only has TR.
Oh no! What's he gonna do in this dark room? There's got to be a lot of complicated inputs, right?
Yeah, your thumb gets tired holding up for that long. Yeah, sometimes you have to switch thumbs. It's almost as hard as hovering. When I do it, I like to set my controller on my lap and then drink some beer and then forget that you actually have to hold up and find myself lost.
Yeah. Yeah, so we also found another glove in pod.
Oh, this is the scenario that wins Professor Render the game, assuming the hookshot doesn't troll him, because that other glove was pretty terrible and it was going to be hard for him to get to. But he doesn't need it anymore. It's just completely irrelevant. Unless, hookshot's on Smith or something, and then he just, last locations it. But
yeah,
I think Spleebie last locations that too. I guess he didn't go to pod.
If hookshot is on Smith, I'm so glad I I commentated instead of playing this race today.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do tomorrow. I can't 216.
All right, Render did a little nifty little peg skip there by honestly something I don't really quite understand, but for some reason you can dash up those stairs and stay in that stair state for a little longer. Again, this is super paying off for him. Both of them on 2 hearts through the respective dungeons. I think Render has to deal with a dark room, and Spleebie has to take some, I was going to say intentional damage, but he doesn't even get the hookshot for this room. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'll be fine. I'll just switch to Kane. Render has taken a fairy death, but he has 2 of those. He'll be okay. I think it's really just, dark rooms are slow, even if you're good at them. So you lose a little time, but I think, finding that glove easily pays off for him.
There's our big key to TR.
And this is good news for Spleebie because it means that Turtle Rock was not very go-modable. You had to go all the way from the back to the front if you wanted to route this way. If Renderer finds the hook shot, he would get to go mode TR, but it wouldn't really be a very good go mode for him either. Renderer is going all the way through. He's going to fight Helmasaur.
Wow.
This is commitment. Gonna assume he's counting his items and that there is something here, because he also checked ped and knows that the pendant can't lead to anything. I also hope that he remembers to turn in the green pendant, because I don't think we've seen that yet.
Yeah, I respect the dedication. I also hate the Helmasaur King that much.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the lamp either. This is kind of a tough fight. He's gonna have to go, he has the fire rod, it's probably fine, but it can go awry.
Oh, our tracker is telling us that the green pendant was already turned in. And
Ah.
So not worth our time.
Well, I mean, as far as the green bandit goes, sure, but the Skullwoods itself was pretty stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't all be winners. Spleebie is going light world something. What is he thinking? He's going back up.
He's going back to his portal.
Yeah. He has to go. He has to make a new one because that one's stuck. He's thinking the big chest. Yeah, that's what it is. That's unfortunate. That's an awkward thing to wrap back in. And he already did Mimic Cave, so and so did Renderer. And both of them are gonna have to be faced with this decision if they're not in Go mode when they go here.
Yeah, but I believe that was his last check on the mountain outside of GT. So
he's never coming back here. GT is probably next for him, unless he goes to Meyer. It's one of the two. Yeah, I'm thinking Meyer he wants to do with Swamp, so he might just do GT first.
Yeah, he has access to the 4 checks on the right side now. I think he can continue full right.
The worst TR both for Go mode and for full clear, because for Go mode you get a really late big key, and for full clear you have to come back for the big chest.
Yeah, Skullwood had both our silvers and our bombos.
Oh yeah, Skullwood's horrible. Like yeah, so if you come in without the fire rod, it's great because you go front to back and find your both items right away. But if you go in from the back to front, you are full clearing. Although I missed where the big key was. If the big key is in the back, then you're just full clearing no matter what.
Don't recall.
Unless you have Bombos Go mode. Alright, Helmosaur is down for Ranger, and he finds 10 arrows. So he's kind of bleeding away a little bit of the time he gains by finding the glove, because, you know, Spleebie has that too. So Ranger's only real advantage over Spleebie is Bombos, and Spleebie can just go to Skullwoods anytime.
But I think we may be about to see some Meyer Swamp shenanigans. There's our big key to GT on the right side.
Spleebie might climb with this equipment.
Yeah, in this mode, you do have to do it at some point. He can hover the Moldorm Gap.
He's in Hookshot and Bombos Go mode, so he still kind of has to check these because Bombos could be here. Render doesn't have to worry about them at all because he knows that it's not going to be the Hookshot. In fact, I think he knows that the Hookshot's not going to be upstairs if he counts his keys correctly. He doesn't have... Wait, evidently he does. Spleebie has 4 keys. Oh, is this a Hookshot upstairs situation? Well, there's 1 Hookshot locked, but that's all the keys. Because you only need 3 to climb.
Does it?
Yeah, Tower Room, Torch, Compass Room is... Yeah, those are 3 legal keys that are not Hookshot locked. So yeah, this is a scary situation for Render. Unfortunately, if Hookshot is upstairs, it's just plain old hover seed and Spleebie wins. I'm actually surprised he goes for the bomb jump here. It's just interesting to watch because we know that Spleebie's not going to find anything good here. We kind of know where everything is at this point, except for the lamp. And we don't know where the hookshot is, but we know it's not here, so... Maybe it could be an Ice Arbmos, because he hasn't been there yet, and that's not hookshot locked in the seed.
I love those little Samaria punts.
Yeah, they're fun. Not doing the big chest first.
Yeah, one of the modes where you you may see the Ganon's Tower big chest get checked.
Yeah, you'll also notice we don't really do the big key guessing game because
There's never time to get it set up.
Yeah, we don't.
GT so fast.
We don't know when people are coming in. They come in like sometimes you like triple dip it too. It's
people just come and go as they please.
It's kind of like I don't know. It's like your vacation home. You just go there for a week. There's the lamp.
Oh,
as I said.
that's a very interesting lamp placement.
It is. The lamp could have been in like Swamp or Mire too. Like that was also an option. This is, yeah, that beetle is bullying him. He's gonna just shoot it off the ledge. Render is not checking left side. He knows the hookshot's not there, but he knows that it might be here, so he's gonna go here. Spleebie is gonna have to use a safety door to get magic. Or just conserve it very well. Good point is like Spleebie might just not get silvers too, because if he has Bombos go mode, then he gets Bombos and leaves Skull Woods and doesn't get the silvers.
I mean, the more and more checks we see, the more likely it becomes that Bombos is locking the hook shot in some way.
Yeah, I'm still concerned about this upstairs GT situation.
Yeah. But we have tamer options too, like it could just be in Mire, it could just be in upstairs Hera.
Tamer options, like Swamp Palace.
Yeah.
I'll take a Swamp hookshot over a GT climb hookshot any day. I would say upstairs in Hera is a pretty trolly location in this mode as well. Like, you usually wait for the hookshot to do Hera, because Herapod is just plain faster than coming from Mire. And you have to go downstairs to unlock the big key door. It's terrible. So usually what happens is you go into Mire and you just open the chest in Mire State, even though you're not really supposed to, because there isn't really any consequence to doing so. I don't know Render's hovering situation. I think he knows how, but I don't know what his consistency is. But he's climbing, so I'm going to assume he has a trick up his sleeve. This is really interesting, seeing this kind of double hover climb from our runners. Oh yeah, knowing how to hover is very easy. Actually doing it is not.
Yeah.
I know how to hover. It's just release A for 1 frame, and then hold A for 30 frames or less. Like, that's it. You do that over and over again, and you hover. Is it 26 frames? Ah, see, I don't know how to hover. But now I do. So I can do this too. Last chance hookshot? Nope. Just a heart piece.
to a very healthy 15 hearts.
You know, this is probably why my hovers fail. It's because I'm releasing for, I'm holding for 30 frames instead of 26.
Yeah.
That's clearly the reason, right? I'm not counting my frames correctly. At least Render doesn't have to kill Moldorm. He knows the hookshot's not going to be there.
Yeah, he may have a plan to get across that gap that involves leaving Moldorm alive.
I hope he Moldorm bounces. That's a really cool tech. I have not learned how to do yet, and I actually kind of want to because it looks cool. It does have that downside though if you don't get the Moldorm chest, but I think I would only use it in a seed where you're in go mode anyway, without the hookshot. Ah, it's under 30 frames, so it's 29. Alright, we got a compromise answer. Alright, Render, get the key? Yes, he knows. Render can also get the other glove here. It's just kind of funny. He doesn't need it, but he could get it if he wanted to. It'll get him to Ice Palace a little bit faster than the Mirror Wrap. But not faster enough to make up for the fact that you swam Hammer Pigs. The swimming Hammer Pig. Oh, he just doesn't hover. Oh, that's unfortunate. He read the logic correctly, though. He knows the hookshot could have been there.
Yeah.
I still think, though, having all of TR and Myra open to you, it's kind of a gamble to do that. I thought he was going to at least give it a try. Spleebie's going back to pod. he's gonna get his mitts. It's gonna be sad because nobody actually wants mitts in this mode.
And it looks like Render is on his way to Turtle Rock. Makes a lot of sense. He can full clear it. It's a crystal.
Yeah. It's gonna be a little sad for us because we already know it's here and it's not much.
Yeah. Really quick mirror wrap though. Can you go up enough? Yep.
Yeah, that was really nice. Oh yeah, there's that whole hookshot on Smith's thing. So if the hookshot is on Smith's, then Spleebie's in really good shape. Because he'll do that with Skullwoods.
Yeah.
In fact, he might just go to Skullwoods because he has the mitts and can do it with the Smith. Oh, there's a shovel here. Did we check that?
Not that I recall.
I can't imagine going to Dig Spot in this seed. Like, that's just terrible. I think you could go there after Meyer. Maybe you could kind of... Because you can clip to Meyer. When you clip to Meyer, you're kind of going through that grove area, so you could mirror and check it real quick.
Yeah, but we have the flute.
We don't have the mitts.
Which makes it... that's right.
Spleebie has the mitts, but Render doesn't. But Spleebie's probably going to take those to the Smith chain after he does Meyer. And might do Shovel with Purple Chest if he follows it all the way through. Yeah, it's really just whoever finds Hookshot. It's kind of a wash. Spleebie doesn't have Bombos, but it's only a matter of time before he goes there because Hookshot is clearly somewhere bad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does at the end because he will know that Helmasaur is an item and in logic, but it's also very slow.
It is slow, and it's tending to leave behind because getting back to pod is so much better in this mode than it is in any other mode. It's just... It's a mountain check. It's like going to Moldorm. Spleebie is showing us why you count keys when you're in pod, because in HMG, your key count is all messed up from that cave key you spent, and it can make it hard to figure out whether Harmless Hallway is a key. He also, I think, needed... No, he didn't need that key. It's a key for a key. Pod has the bad key layout too. Like the big key is here in Dark Maze. What a drag. These dungeons have had the worst layouts. There have definitely been better qualifiers than this seed. We already have a 109 on the scoreboard. This seed is not going to be a 109. We already know that. Not with this hookshot location. Big Render has learned his lesson. You don't have the hookshot here, so you have to go the intended way through the torch maze.
Yeah, so in chat there is the schedule. This is qualifier number 3 of 12.
Yeah, so the way it works is we require 3 for seeding purposes. They're non-eliminating, so they're just there to seed brackets. If you want to do more than 3, that's fine. If you get your 3 and you're happy with your score, you can lock them in and keep racing for fun if you want to. You just have to tell an admin. And if you want to keep running and not lock them in, you can also do that. As long as you have told the admin that you've chosen to lock in your scores, you can keep racing without any penalty or gain. Because as we've seen, these races are pretty fun, and we like to have lots of people in them.
I know as a newer overworld glitches player, having the tournament out there and the qualifiers on the books has definitely made me play more HMG, which is a very fun mode.
Simultaneous boss kills. Spleebie is just going for Helmut. I think he's kind of... I'm not sure why he's avoiding... Well, I know why he's avoiding Meyer. He doesn't have the medallion. I'm not sure why Render is avoiding Meyer.
I guess he wants the hook shot, since he's going to somewhere along the way end up in swamp, so continue doing the progression you have to do before you go there.
Render took a death on Trinex. Unfortunately, he's already used up both his fairies, so he has to come back. Thankfully, a death on Trinex in this mode just puts you out Laser Bridge. You get a free safety door with this route. It's also worth noting that nobody in the race room has finished yet, so we get to, yeah, we can kind of see why that is. We've run out of nice locations at this point. The hookshot is nowhere good. Yeah, you do Smith Chain, and then you do Skullwoods. You can do Skullwoods and then Smith Chain. Problem with Skullwoods is if you do front to back, then you kind of lock yourself in the back and have an awkward time getting back. You might as well do this first. And in this case, you kind of know where the items are. You know that Smith is an item, you know Purple Chest is an item, but you don't know that any given chest in Skullwoods is an item. A lot of them are keys. So this is maybe a little bit more dense.
Moment of truth. That is now the 3rd crystal for Renderer, putting us at 4-3 here on Restream. Renderer does have the Skullwoods clear done though, so they are at 5 dungeons apiece.
I do wonder if Spleebie finds Bombos before Back of Skull. He probably does Moth first, but if he doesn't, does he leave?
Oh, We'll get the we'll look at the dig spot as well.
There you go. This is that kind of TR sleeper check. Just 20 rupees for Spleebie. And Render also running out of locations has to check this big chest. It's an item. You can't really leave behind items at this point in the game. It's, you know, not... Oh, there's a bottle.
Ah, you're forced to pick up a second bottle, Spleebie. You can't avoid
You
it.
cannot. Hey, that one's got a free blue potion in it, though. I want to see it get used.
Yeah.
One of my favorite blue potion uses is just to flute to 3 to get more potions. Or flute to 2. Flute to 3 to activate the real flute is another fun one.
We do have the Skull Woods play now for Spleebie. Render is headed back to the Dark World. Do you think this could be the Meyer play?
Maybe this isn't the fastest way to Meyer, though. I'm not sure where he's going. The fastest way to Meyer with his equipment would be either a super jump or from Link's house. So I'm trying to think of what he left behind here. I mean, he could be going for a Mitzless Smith, but he needs a bottle for that if he's going to use the method I'm imagining. Yeah, I think he's just going to Meyer. Wait a second. Oh, he wanted to do the Smith and forgot he doesn't have a mitts, maybe?
I guess check the dig spot and
Alright, Spleebie doing the back to front Skull Woods as you usually do when you have the fire rod, and it's a green pendant. Which means he gets silver arrows, because he will full clear it.
3 digs. Not bad.
I'm gonna be a little sad if Hookshot is just sitting in Mire, because that's been accessible for a while. But if Hookshot's in Swamp, then, you know, it's Hookshot in Swamp. That doesn't change no matter what mode you're playing. It's still Hookshot in Swamp.
It's Render jumping back up to VOO.
It's a Mire teleport. You want to do a downward on the 3rd bump here, and it'll take you... You can also do the 1st bump and then do a quick hop. That'll get you there even faster.
I didn't know it worked the same way here like Desert. I always do it over by K45.
Yeah, the trick with doing this in the Dark World versus Light World is knowing that the pixels are... Well, the pixel cues that you're used to are offset between them. And you're actually using the irregular teleport in one of the worlds. So when you're in the Light World, you want to go 1 lower to do these kind of weird collision desert. So that quick hop method where you're on the 1st bump, you can do that in the Light World too, you just have to go 1 pixel lower. Alright, we're finally seeing it, and we know something is here, because I think there's nothing left for us. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I cannot think of anything off the top of my head.
Oh, Render hasn't done Ice Palace yet. That's right. I wonder what I wonder what he's waiting for, because he has the cane, which Spleebie didn't have. So he'll have a faster Ice Palace. He might even have a Go Mode Ice, because we know he's probably gonna get the hookshot here. It does raise the question, like, who is ahead? I think Render is ahead, even though Spleebie has Ice Palace done.
Spleebie also has the
top of
GT
GT.
climb done.
Right, Render didn't actually hover Moldworm. I have it in my head that he did.
Yes, you in this mode you do have to kill Agatu at the top of GT to access Ganon.
Yeah, this is basically a 7/7 pass Ganon, or defeat Ganon. Like, it's the same goal. We just can get to GT sooner, kind of like you can in, low crystals to open GT mode.
Oh boy. A
Here we go.
mushroom.
Oh no. Why? Oh no. Don't do that to us. At least Spleebie can flute there and back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Render doesn't have that option. If he has to turn that in, he's just gonna be sad. Although he's not gonna, if it is the hook shot, then he does Hera and he doesn't touch Meyer again. It is a problem if there's no small key in Hera though, and he can't unlock Swamp. Because the Hera small key can lock itself.
There's our big key to Mire, Hera, and Swamp.
Yes, it's the most valuable big key in the game. Well, insofar as the Swamp Big Chest is valuable.
It's our most versatile big key.
There you
go. So in order to access Tower of Hera, you do have to extend the wall for the cutscene chest.
That's if you want to use a bomb clip. You can do a 1-frame clip on the other side, which is actually not that hard. You might even see people use that clip in Swamp because it's, for a lot of people, easier than the bomb clip for Swamp. There's a kind of a newer method that uses a dash that doesn't require too many 1-frame inputs, and they don't have to be super precise. So a lot of people prefer it. Whereas like the bomb clip to Swamp still requires you to do some like 1-frame buffers. And it's like, if you're going to do 1-frame buffers, you might as well just do the 1-frame clip, right?
Yeah, I do the Swamp where you bonk and you sword up twice, similar to the Kiki skip.
Yeah, that sword up twice thing is what gets me. I'm just so bad at it. Spleebie Vidi first. Is that what I'm seeing?
That is what you're seeing.
Vidi first is a good play. I mean, it's a hookshot. He's in go mode. He doesn't have to worry.
Yeah.
He even has his key. He can use it to unlock Swamp if he needs to. Which is an interesting choice because he knows that he doesn't know if there's a key available in Hera to unlock Swamp, so he might be forced to do that. So you might as well just do Swamp now if that's gonna be the case.
Yeah, and even when you go to the other dungeons via Mire, you will have to leave and re-enter because the game will, until you step outside, the game will continue to think that you're in Misery Mire, and you do have to kill the crystal bosses.
That's correct, yeah. So it's kind of a weird situation where you can go to Hera and collect the Mire crystal there, but we, for the purpose of the tournament, require you to kill Vidi if Vidi has a crystal, so you just do Vidi. We might see some pendant dupes from future races. If Vidi has a pendant and you want the pendant, you can still get it that way without killing Vidi by tournament rules. And likewise, when we go to Swamp, we have to correct our dungeon state so that we're actually getting the correct prize for Swamp. That can require some shenanigans where you like pre-flood the dam and then save and quit because it stays flooded that way. We have the mirror, so we just mirror and do the dam like normal. But that is how you would do it without the mirror. So the question for Spleebie is, he has a mushroom and he has the flute and mitts. I'm surprised that he doesn't flute to turn in the mushroom and then come back to do the rest of Mire.
That hover was optimistic. to say the least.
I've seen him go for the hover before. It is optimal if you can get it, but yeah, it's again, it's one of those hovers that requires you to quickly get into hovering. You can't just stop and turn your controller 90 degrees and take a sip of your drink. You know, you have to like actually be quick about it. All right, Render is going to continue into Mire. You say, oh, he already did all of Mire. Why is he coming back here? Because he is done with Mire, but he's not done with Hera and Swamp. And he knows that he can't get in any other way. So if Hookshot is in either of those dungeons, he had to go through Mire.
Look at the sink.
Just dashing down the lane. They're kind of going to the same place. I think if Spleebie already did this or got the items, he is also clipping. So yeah. This is going to be really cool. We get to see their different methods for clipping Mire to Hera and Hera to Swamp. Spleebie is lighting the torches. I don't know if it's because he wants to do the bomb clip or because there's an item here.
No, there was the compass there, so if he's counted.
You can save time doing the dash clip here, but maybe he's not a dash clip fan. Or just not fast enough to save time over doing the cutscene. No, he's getting the item.
There's our Hera big key upstairs, which
not a Hera big key anymore.
Wait, is this problematic for Renderer then? Because how's he going to get back upstairs?
I'll need to unlock the door in Mire State.
He has to get back.
But he's not going to do that. He's hoping the hookshot is somewhere. Did he get both items in Hera?
It's been so long since we've seen the bottom.
Well, the bottom was a heart piece and a compass.
Okay, I think that was the big key and a map. So I think we still have one more here.
If Renderer is leaving the hookshot in here, he's in trouble. Like, hookshot could be on Moldorm, and then he can't get back here without going through Mire. Ooh, good catch, Spleebie. Not holding up left into the pit like I always do when that happens. There you go.
Hey, sword up, gang. Way to go, Professor.
Spleebie's doing my preferred method, which is what we call the dash clip.
What do you do about your swamp key situation if you pick up a small key?
Remember to unlock the door, Renderer. Renderer, no. Oh no, dude. Oh, that hurts to watch. You're gonna see that a lot this tournament. It's so easy to forget to unlock that door.
Yeah.
Because usually you unlock the door on the other side when you walk through, but that one's a staircase, so you don't. And yeah, you have 3 Mire keys. You can just skip them.
Never been outside. Since he entered through the Mire door, the game continued to think that he was in Misery Mire, so using his mirror returned him to the Mire entrance.
Which is what he needed to do anyway, because he has locked himself out of Swamp and Hera by picking up the Hera big key and not unlocking the door to Swamp. So Spleebie hopefully unlock the door and can mirror out here and do all the normal, kind of just do Swamp normally now, except he doesn't have the hook shot. I think it might be wise for him to turn in that mushroom before going in here, though. I wonder if he forgot.
And so now, Spleebie has converted this to just your standard hookshotless swamp dip.
Yep, just like you always do in these seeds. Typical qualifier luck.
Yeah, these horrible, horrible seeds that we subject ourselves to.
I think the main tournament qualifier had like hammer and swamp. And this is going to be the hookshot and swamp tournament.
Yeah, in this mode, hammer and swamp is actually cool and good.
Yes, we want to see that. That's cool. We like hammer and swamp. We like mirror and swamp. We don't like hookshot and Hera.
Yeah.
Welcome to our raiders from SpeedGaming. We have quite a bit of explaining to do. What this mode is, this is not cross keys. This is use your keys across different dungeons mode. So yeah, in a way we are crossing our keys here, just not in the usual sense.
Now we are on a hunt for a hookshot.
Yeah, in the place where you typically look for it, which is Swamp Palace. The other place it could be is the mushroom that we picked up in Mire. And there's, I think, something in Hera as well that neither runner picked up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, there's at least one item still left in Hera.
If it's on Moldorm, you can get the item from Moldorm and then, drop down and not pick up the crystal. There won't be a crystal anyway, you already got it. The problem is if you pick up the Hera small key and it's in the basement, then you're forced to do that in Mire State too, and that's just going to be awful. Basically, if you ever pick up the small key in Hera State and there's an item in the basement, you kind of want to drop down and open that door and then walk back up again. It's probably an investment worth doing. Oh, we got another raid set. Lots of people coming into this fun mode. We're kind of doing the meat of it now, doing all this Mire to Swamp to Hera clipping.
Yeah,
but most of the clipping is over now. We're just in Swamp looking for a hook shot. But there will be plenty more to come. This is a tournament. There's going to be more qualifiers and bracket races to come.
Yeah, I believe our next one is Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, so just under 48 hours from now.
I'm going to throw that link in chat again for people to pick up the schedule, and there it is, the hook shot with the appropriate...
You're right to do it, Spleebie.
You had to do it. Oh, Renderer. He knows it's there. He can sniff it out. I'm just glad it's not the mushroom, because that would have made me sad if Spleebie could have just fluted that away. Like, I can see why Renderer didn't, but...
Technically not a last location, because we haven't turned our mushroom in.
Yes, not quite. There's the other one. There's also some... Oh!
You don't have a key.
Welcome to Hookless Swamp, friends.
Yeah.
So they look really close, but Renderer is a couple dungeons behind. He still has to do Ice Palace and also climb GT again because he went without a hook shot.
So Spleebie should be wrapping up here in just a few minutes. He's just an Argus, a Moldorm, and a Ganon away from Dot Done. And the unfortunate benefit of almost last locationing that hook shot is going to be a very comfy Ganon fight.
Indeed. Remember when we were worried about Spleebie not finding silver arrows? Yeah, so that's a thing of the past.
Yeah. We were concerned about him deliberately not getting 2 bottles.
I think we overloaded the speed gaming bot. It's tired of me spamming that command.
Yeah, maybe we should start using the AGA 1 to denote that AGA 2 has been killed, since we're always going to see an AGA 2 kill. God willing,
Point
we never have to
to
see an AGA 1 kill.
maybe I'll do a tracker ping, just telling them that maybe we should just use AGA for AGA 2. Because nobody does AGA 1 in this mode unless it's Lumberjack.
Yeah, unless you have like a fire rod on Lumberjack or something that you like can't get around.
But yeah, that's true. Like knowing when a runner has killed AGA 2 is actually important. I'm sure they have something like that for cross keys as well, but it's also the key sanity tracker, so it might be different.
Well, we also do weird stuff with our keys.
They both forgot the swamp key. It happens. It's Hookless Swamp. It messes with your brain. Nobody feels good doing Hookless Swamp.
And that is going to be crystal number 7 for Spleebie.
There's the Swamp Small in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately they didn't. That swamp ball didn't shuffle to like the other chest in left side swamp that they did.
I do have to wonder if it had been in the first chest and Render had blindfolded it, would he have gone for the hook shot? Because that would have been a galaxy move play.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like if you're doing that without a hook shot, you probably should keep going. On the other hand, the knowledge is extremely valuable as well, because, the time save is still there, you just do it later.
Already into phase 3.
Yep, having 18 hearts and gold sword will do that.
Yeah. As Render has picked up his 5th crystal, we'll still need to complete Tower of Hair and Ice Palace.
How much more health Spleebie has than Render? It must be a ton in Ice Palace. Maybe the Smith chain as well, because there are definitely some things that Render didn't do. So he, got to the hookshot faster than he could have. There were definitely places he could have gone that were worse. He gets to go mode Ice Palace. Alright, and get your GGs in chat for Spleebie. He's killed the pig. He's about to walk through the door. And that's official racetime.gg time of 1:52:14 for Spleebie. He has finished in 7th place overall. I am sorry, but your hookshot is in another dungeon.
Yeah, no matter how weird we make the mode, still a French vanilla hookshot on left side swamp.
And I do believe Renderer did kill Trinex the second time he went in.
Yes, I believe so. And it looks like Renderer is going for the, is this the flipper setup?
This is the flipper wrap. Wonder if he, this is, he has a history with this flip. So I'm surprised he goes for it still when he has other options.
Did he save and quit after Swamp Palace too?
Render.
If not, this is very risky.
Well, if you know what you're doing, it's fine. The problem is you don't do it very often because there's almost always a better option. So you forget, and then you move the wrong way, and that's how you hard lock. So as long as you know what you're doing and you know what ways to move, you'll be fine.
And he's in. Will he clip for the sake of clipping?
He doesn't have a bomb.
No, he doesn't have bombs.
No, dude. He wanted to. The thought was there. I appreciate it. And it is faster. Like, it saves a good chunk of time. I mean, not that much. Like, I timed it. It's not that many. It's like order of seconds, but it's still time. Had the red mail, according to the credits, because of, you know, where else would it be, right? Like, we've seen everything else.
Well, fortunately, 18 hearts and blue mail was enough. I believe that is Spleebie joining us. GG, Spleebie.
All right, maybe I can hear you now.
There you go.
Hey,
GG's.
GG's.
Hey, thanks, GG.
Oh, that's a heck of a seed. I'm sorry. That was a bad seed.
Yeah. Sorry, I think the mic was fine. I just, I couldn't hear.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, this seed was terrible.
Yeah, the pendant Skullwoods and Hookshot and Swamp, and pretty much anybody who did smart play kind of got nullified by Hookshot and Swamp.
Well, and I never skip Skullwoods except today. And having Bombos earlier would have been a huge help. Like, I would have routed this completely differently. But
yeah, the early game route was really solid. A lot of things were really falling in your path. The Hookshot and Bombos were unfortunate.
yeah, the early game, like, I usually start with Kakariko anyway, but I was like, hey, we got a sword. Let's go to Death Mountain, get the mirror. Hey, let's skip Kakariko for a while. You know, see if we can get everything. And yeah, that felt great. Then when it was like, oh, I just need Hookshot and Bombos for like an hour, that was less great.
I think Render is picking up more bombs. He realizes he wants more than one.
Yeah, I actually almost left Swamp Palace too. When I saw Krellbell finish at 133.
The old meta game.
For a while, I was like, there's no way that Hookshot is just in Swamp, and I almost left. to go check Green
No.
Pendant and Mushroom and
Oh, you still had Green Pendant. I totally
Yeah.
forgot about that. Because I was thinking about that mushroom. I was thinking, you could flit to 2 right now and check it and then come back. But
might have even gone back to Meyer and gone to Hera. I guess the other
yeah,
item was in the basement though.
that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just talking about how bad it is when you like pick up the Hera small key in Meyer State, and now you have to unlock the Meyer basement door, and it's like, oh god, I don't even want to think about that. Oh yeah, so your car is Hera caught.
I think I was in real trouble if Hookshot was Hera basement. Because I spent all the Meyer keys in Swamp.
Well, you could get them back by clipping to Swamp, but it's not fun. Right? Like,
Yeah, I guess clip to Swamp and then find the small key.
the small key to
gosh.
Swamp was in the back.
Yeah, I think it was
In one of
the
the
down ones.
underwater ones, yeah.
I don't think it's possible to lock yourself out of Hera basement that way. Because spending all your keys in Swamp requires you to skip keys that are in
Oh, it was
chests.
I flooded the key in the second pool. That was it.
Oh.
So I would have had to
then you
go
just
there and get
diver
that
down
key
it,
and
yeah.
then- yeah. And then go back to Hera.
There's a time when that would have been a rip, but we have diver down now. But it's still bad. Like, you still have to go back to Swamp to get a key, and nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. Doing anything in Swamp always takes longer than doing anything anywhere else.
So the small key was on Moldorm. So if you kill Moldorm in Meyer State, then you're in trouble. Which I was thinking, like, oh, maybe people kill Moldorm and get the item, but then you see it's a small key, you have to avoid it. And you have to have the presence of mind to not pick up that item.
Pick it up, yeah.
Which is hard because it's right on top of you, yeah. You're used to just standing in optimal item pickup spot,
Right.
not thinking about it. And then there was that scary situation of Hookshot could have been an upstairs GT, which I guess for you was fine, but Renderer
Yeah,
climbed it and didn't
Less
hover.
scary
So.
for me.
Yeah.
Did he just mirror out or did he Moldorm bounce and skip that chest?
Save quit out. That Hookshot can be here, I'm gonna look, and if it's not there, I'm gonna go look somewhere else. So he has to climb GT again, which is unfortunate. It's kind of my personal nightmare situation. Because if it's up here, I'm just not getting it until it's the last thing.
Yeah. So I think if I had dipped Skullwoods, like I always do, except today, I would have gone into Meyer probably without Kane, and then just done Swamp.
Yeah, Meyer without
At least
Kane
unlocked
does...
it and maybe done... I don't know if I would have done left side Swamp though.
Meyer without Kane has special value in HMG because, you have the option to just use that trip to unlock Swamp and then not worry about Vidi until later.
Yeah.
But
I guess the hook on left side Swamp though is still gonna be
it's still
a
hook
while
and
before
Swamp.
anyone finds it.
No matter what you do, it's still hook and Swamp. I think the only way, like, it's if it had been the Swamp key in the front and then you YOLO'd the chest, which Renderer did, like maybe he would have gotten that, but the game didn't let you do that either.
I mean, you just also like you just kept having like better things to do. Like, the whole back of pod and the full clearing Turtle Rock, I think it was available at like the exact same time too, and like you're always gonna pick the crystal over doing a pendant.
Right. Yeah, and Samaria in the first chest of pod there, I was like, great, let's clear Turtle Rock. Maybe we get Bombos, we can do Meyer, I don't know.
Yeah. And TR was the worst layout for every single clear. No matter whether you're go moding it or full clearing it, it was always the worst. Alright, anyway, Rander is climbing GT now. This is his last dungeon. He just has to get through to the top. He's already opened up the chest, but it doesn't really matter. It's the same climb both times. Alright, nice ferry for the road for Ganon. Might as well make it easy for ourselves. What he's doing here? Might have been an accident.
Yeah, I might have still been holding the move like out of going to net the ferry.
That makes sense. Does he open this chest? Nope. No, he does. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna bomb it. We've seen a lot of bomb chests in this seed.
Yeah.
This seed deserves it, for sure. Every single chest in this game deserves a bomb.
Yeah, I'm not usually one to throw bombs around either, but this just this seed deserved it, I think.
Definitely. That's why Render bought the upgrade, that is correct. He's got a lot more chests in this game to bomb.
Well, you know, you get the one for the bomb hair pot, and so, you know, what are you gonna do with the other 13 that you have?
I get two. Got one more fight ahead of us, and then it's over for the day. But there are more qualifiers to come. There's 9 more of them. They're not all necessarily going to get a restream, but we do have some openings for people who want to do commentary or tracking. You can go into that schedule. If you type /crew after the schedule, you can see the crew signups as well. So Render is going for the kind of poke dash strats that you use when you're doing like one-on-one. I think he needs more though, because the gold sword does.
Oh yeah, the double spin doesn't do.
Yeah, double spin doesn't do double damage on gold. Yeah. Maybe he's just playing it safe because, you know, he wants to finish. Isn't it nice you can't accidentally mirror out of Ganon? Oh, monkass. Alright.
Nice.
Oh, dude. He has a fairy. He'll be
Yeah,
okay.
the fairy. That's fine. This is way faster than doing the first 3 phases again.
Yes. And also just better for your psyche.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could handle that. And give your GGs to Renderer for sticking it out this seed, this terrible, god-awful seed. Then we'll be having him on shortly if he wants to interview as well.
So like we mentioned, this is qualifier number 3 of 12. The schedule is in chat, but we will be doing our next one Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern.
Yes.
And they will be continuing, I think, through the early part of July.
Yeah, I think July 2nd is probably the last one. I'd have to look at that schedule again, but it is. Yeah, July 2nd to Saturday, or the Friday before the weekend, so yeah. All right, well, welcome to Professor Renderer, GG's.
I guess if you a GG, honestly.
it's Hookshot and Swamp. It's gonna, it's gonna wear at you.
For that.
Yeah.
What? Simple question for that. Why was that there?
Why was that there? I don't know. I wanted to see a hammer in Swamp or a mirror in Swamp, not a hook shot.
We wanted to get
exactly.
Hey, GG's Renderer.
I didn't mean to shout that loud because it's like midnight over here, but like they're probably sleeping.
Yeah.
My parents are probably sleeping, but it looked like it was starting to look fine up until that happened, and I just laughed. All it was just I laughed because it's just a funny spot for it. At the same time, it's also the worst spot for it. It's like it was starting to look good. The sad thing about it. It was starting to look. It was looking good.
Yeah, it's optimistic for you having that early Bombos. Definitely was looking like it helped you, and then you got the glove out of Pod. The other glove was in Hammer Pegs, which I don't think you were ever going to go to. So we were a little bit worried on the glove front, and then it turns out the glove didn't matter. Like it was just Hookshot and Swamp.
Yeah, glove was just a red herring.
I honestly think that like I was looking to try to find any resemblance of a hook shot somewhere that wasn't going through Mire Hera Swamp. I opened up those two chests in Hera when I did Mire and Hera, only to have to do Mire Hera Swamp again when I forgot to open the door. I'm still mad about that.
As bad as Hookshot and Swamp was, though, Hera Basement was quite scary. We were thinking about the potentiality of having to go back through Mire again just to get Hera Basement, and that's just too awful to think about.
Yeah, and that's to me, it's like that. It goes to show that like you can't really just trust your normal instincts when you're playing OWG. You actually have to think about those extra clips because that's why I went to the swamp originally. I checked it to make sure that there was that to have that potentially 1 in 10 chance of getting that key, just to at least confirm something about it. And then I was like, okay, once I know there's no key in the front, I can just continue with the rest. I can continue on my way. And they put off Mire for quite a while because I was just trying to do these other checks because when you think about it, all the quote unquote right checks are actually the wrong checks. That's exactly what it really came down to.
It was also a really unfortunate GT key layout that could bait you upstairs looking for that hook shot.
That's what got me there because I got baited upstairs because I was thinking, okay, big keys on the front, then might as well see if that is where Hera's at, if the hook shot's at. It wasn't there, and if I was willing to risk like several minutes at a time to do this, I would attempt to hover. really get hovering consistently, but I can at least get it like at once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Well, any thoughts on your future qualifiers? What you're going to join 3 of them, or gonna think about doing more just for fun? I know it's kind of a weird question to ask after this but they're not all going to be like this.
Yeah, I just think that I can try. I want to at least do like one extra, at least like truly say that I have 3 because I'm purging this one out of my mind.
Yeah.
Forfeit, but I just like no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, you'll want to do 3 to actually purge this one from your record because it won't count. If you do 3, this one doesn't count, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till about 10 minutes before the race and see if Krellbell's the one that rolls before I decide which ones I enter.
I didn't even know Krellbell was gonna roll until I forgot to roll, and then he rolled it for me.
Yeah.
The rolling happens at the exact same time I get invited to the SpeedGaming server, so yeah, it gets kind of hectic at the end. But yeah, thank our runners, follow your runners, follow the other runners in this race as well. If you go into racetime.gg, you can see a big list of them who are in this tournament. You can also put in that command, follow our crew, like Tracker, Kippy, Cocom Pix, and SpeedGaming for putting on this restream. Coming up tonight, we do have a new Super Mario Brothers Wii Any Percent No World 5 tournament in 20 minutes? 10 minutes? It's very soon. And then tomorrow, we start another day full of gaming for you, including a bronze tournament, a Link to the Past randomizer match. So keep an eye on that SpeedGaming schedule.